Okay, I have a lot to cover today. Lot to rant about. I had surgery, been super sick, ate some baked potatoes last night, took a bunch of sleeping pills so I could sleep through being sick, and I feel so much fucking better that we're gonna get back to this shit today. First, I'm not saying there's not bad people, bad governments, whatever. But people want to sit and argue with me the nuances between fucking communism and socialism and capitalism and fascism, and do they really not fucking understand? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of government you have. I've been enlightened. It is the type of people you have. You know, there are a lot of countries in this world that have governments that should be and should seem to be much less caring than ours. Their people should be way less happy, way more stress, but they're not. What the fuck is that about? Let me tell you what this is about. Okay, I got this worked out. And it's a two-part thing, so it might even have to go into a part 1 and a part 2 tape. But I'll try to make them short. Okay. Our government, our country as a whole. We had some fucked up people. And they're just self-centered. Just the regular, narcissistic, self-absorbed people. And they, unfortunately, the way our government is set up, at this point, so much has been allowed into the system. So much of let's just say, there's this really shitty person in a government job. And let's say it's Child Protective Services. They don't really give a fuck about kids. I mean, no, I'm not saying they're like fucking Nazis and wanting to murder babies, but they just don't give a fuck. They went and did whatever they did, and they got their IQ a 96, and then they got some fucking degree in social work, okay? And now they just got some government job that doesn't pay shit, and they're never going to improve upon their life, and in some suckhole county, and that's just the way it's going to be. Okay. And that gives them this ultimate power. I mean, this is the most powerful job this person could ever fucking hope to have. But anyway, they're not required to do their goddamn job. It's all subjective. Whether they think somebody should lose their kids or get their kids or lose their kids and never see them again, that's all a very subjective thing. And you don't think about, well, I'll have to deal with this shit. But guess what? You are dealing with this shit. And a lot of people aren't dealing with it today. Will be dealing with it tomorrow, or they'll be dealing with it next week. So let's say somebody in your family, you run up on hard times. And you and your husband, significant other, baby daddy, whatever, which our government also created that whole situation. They want your kids. So you say, yeah, you can keep my kid for a week, or two, because I'm having a hard time getting this water bill paid, and let me work and get this water bill paid and stuff. And, and then you can spend time with the kids and it's all good. Okay, well, they immediately take your kids and run to CPS and say, I don't know how to get a hold of her, which is a lie. and they take your kids. Okay. Even when you find out a few weeks later, when they won't return them to you, that they have in fact gone and lied and I'm sure signed some kind of fucking sworn statement or something, right? That there's nothing you can do because now they're in the system. And of course, the worker can just say, well, I didn't know how to get a hold of you. Well, the family was talking to me every day on Facebook and on the phone and on Messenger, so they knew how to get a hold of me. They lied. So anyway, and then this person can just decide that they don't like you because they didn't like your mom and they don't like your attitude. But there's this one family member now. And now this family member has introduced her to another family member. And she likes these two. Because one of them's got a daughter that's been dating this guy for a couple years. Who, you'd like to stay in good with that boy's family. And the families vacation together and you figure those two will end up married. So, yeah, let's give him to that bitch. Somehow that'll make me better. That'll make me look better in everybody's eyes. If I go ahead and just rip 3 children away from this now newly single mother that's struggling, and just fuck her world until she has no choice but to us take the children and her never see them again, or she'll just commit suicide or something. Who fuck cares? Either way, it works out as a good deal for that CPS worker. So for 3 years, it's shit like, it doesn't matter. We want you to have a 3-hour supervised visit at the park. The mom gets excited. She gets to see her kids for 3 hours extra. And when they're going to the park. It's the fucking city park in the middle of a small town. It's not like they have shower rooms or something. 3 little girls at the park. What's supervised? Well, she takes the kids home. And then a few days later finds out that because the kids came home with dirt under their fingernails and dirt on their socks, because God forbid they played at the park for 3 fucking hours, that this family, that the caseworkers now said she's negligent because she doesn't keep her children clean. This is the shit that is destroying our country. We're breaking down the family fabric. First off, the girl shouldn't have had 3 kids without a ring on it. Okay? But, shit happens. And the government becoming the one that is supporting everyone, with our system, our welfare system that should have been intended to help people that were like in a hard spot, that got sick, that got in a car accident, that got a sick child, that something. Instead, it has become the system of, don't worry about fucking whoever you want to fucking getting pregnant. We are your baby daddy. We will provide shelter, and we will provide food, and we will provide, clothes, and we will provide medical care, and we'll provide all that. So once again, it's a little breakdown of the family unit. And everybody starts with the, yeah, there needs to be a safety net. I'm glad our country has a safety net, but it is just that. It is a safety net that is turned into a way of life for half of our country that doesn't feel like they need to have any fucking commitment. And then because dad can bail, because mom doesn't feel this sense of commitment to find a guy who's not going to bail. And if your first guy bails, to not try harder not to repeat that mistake, and don't have a kid with another guy that's just going to fucking bail on you. It doesn't matter. They can bail. Who gives a shit? You'll get an apartment with an extra bedroom. They'll raise your food stamps. They'll raise this. Don't worry. So then mom doesn't really feel quite as much of an obligation that I need to provide for these kids. I need to find a job. I need to find a man with a job. I need to, do this or do that. Or it's all these policies that the government has made everybody not only dependent on them, but so controlled by them. How do you lose custody of children to CPS that you have never neglected, that you have never abused, because they just keep throwing these hoops for you to jump through. But they keep moving them, and they move them over and over, and they go to court, and they get continuances. And to them, it's the judge is like, okay, 90-day continuance. And the judge doesn't understand. That is 90 days. A mother that loves and adores her children is going to be lucky to see him once a week at the park for 3 hours, so then they can write her up because the kids have dirty socks. You know what? What can she do about that? Stop the visit 2 hour in and start taking them into the bathroom and sitting them in a sink and bathing children and washing socks. And our country has created this. Our country has created this mentality of you get what you can get. You take what you can get. You sue if you can sue. It doesn't matter if you should. Sue if you can sue. My son shot himself in the head on the property of a psychiatric hospital he had been in for 4 months. I bet if I'd have sued, they would have settled. I probably could have got a lot of money out of that. I didn't sue. Not because I couldn't. Because I didn't think it was right. And I think that's where our country has lost. Our country has lost the, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? Can I sue about this? Can I get money for this? That's what they have become. Our country has lost the, should I do this? Is this the right thing to do? Little catch in their brain, that little piece of conscience has disappeared. And I think that we've lost it through many policies and many agencies having many employees that have been allowed for generation after generation to rip us away from each other, to not instill sense of loyalties or care what's in a best interest of a child when that's your job. Those three children I was talking about in that circumstance, they aren't even together anymore. One of them now lives with her father, who denied her vehemently and had actually not seen her in 4 years by choice, because the relative that wanted them decided she didn't want the older one anymore. There is no more family. It was destroyed.